Attorney Menchaca, let's talk about the L1 visa. What exactly does it require to apply?
The L1A visa is to transfer personnel or even the owners of the company themselves from a company outside of the United States to a company inside of the United States. So the first two requirements are that there be a company outside of the United States and that there be a company inside the United States.
And the company outside of the United States, can it be from any country?
Absolutely. There's no limitation as to which country the company outside the United States is based out.
Okay, so what else?
Then the two companies need to be related. They need to be part of the same corporate group, so to speak. So one can be the affiliate of another, one can be the subsidiary of another, or it can even be the same company, the same corporation that has a presence inside of the United States and outside of the United States.
Is there any other requirements that it needs?
Sure. You, as the applicant, needs to have worked for the company outside of the United States for at least one continuous year during the last 3 years. There are some exceptions to that, but the general rule is that, in other words, you need to have worked for the company outside of the United States to be transferred to the company inside of the United States.
What else?
Your position outside of the United States needs to be that of a manager or an executive, okay? That's what the law says, but let me break those down for you. In simple terms, what those mean is that you need to be a decision maker on behalf of the company, that you need to have the power to make the important decisions on behalf of the company, right? Such as hire people, fire people, hire external companies, lawyers, accountants, marketing firms, so on, sign important contracts, leases, etc., right? And you need to be a decision maker, right? You need to be a boss. And then you also need to be the supervisor of other people or person, or one person even, who is a decision maker themselves. Okay, so if you come to my office and you say, do I qualify? I would say, well, tell me about the decisions that you make on behalf of the company, and we'd go through and figure out if those are important decisions. And if the answer is yes, then we would look now to your subordinates and say which one of your subordinates is also a decision maker, and we would go through the same analysis about your subordinate. And if we can find that you are a decision maker and that you supervise other decision makers, then you're good.
That sounds simple enough.
Sure.
What other requirements does this visa need?
It also requires that you be coming to the United States to work in the U.S. company in a high-level position, again, as a manager or an executive, which means, again, the supervisor of another supervisor.
Okay, and does this mean that from the company that I'm coming from outside of the United States, my position has to be the same one in the company inside of the United States?
No, not at all. For example, I have a client who's the vice president of the company outside of the United States and is coming to be the president of the company inside of the United States. So different position, but both qualify because he is a decision maker who supervises decision makers outside and a decision maker who supervises decision makers inside the United States.
So in my understanding is that I have to be a boss of a decision maker. What else?
So yes, you have to be the boss of a decision maker in the company outside and becoming in the United States to be the boss of a decision maker in the company in the United States. The other requirement is that both companies continue to do business, that they be actively doing business. So some companies are shutting down their division outside of the United States and moving everything inside. That would not qualify you because at that point, the company outside is no longer operating. Both companies need to be actively doing business. And that's it. Those are the main requirements.
Thank you, Attorney Menchaca.
My pleasure. The L1 visa is a great visa. Number one, and most importantly, what it does is it puts you in a path to qualify for a green card, for U.S. permanent residency. So basically, in simple terms, and not exact terms, but in simple terms, if you qualify for the L1A visa, then you are a very good candidate for a green card. So that's the most attractive part of the L1A visa. That people want it because it gets them on a direct path to a green card. Now, more specifically, the L1A visa allows you to live in the United States with your immediate family, spouse, and children under the age of 21. It allows you to work, to be employed, to make money in the United States. So that's always a plus. And also, your spouse will have the option to apply for a work permit that allows your spouse to work anywhere in the United States. They can even start their own business. So it gives flexibility to families because one family can become a two-income family with the L1A visa.
Okay, the service of the work permit, do you guys offer this service?
Yes, absolutely. Once you were to get your L1A visa approved, we would call you and say, hey, does your spouse want to work? And if the answer is yes, then we would offer the service of processing the work permit for your spouse.
I see. What other benefits does this visa give you?
So as you know, the United States has the best education system in the world, and the L1A visa gives you access to that education system. So you, as your professional, you can sign up to get your master's degree, your PhD in the evenings and go to university part-time. Your children will have the opportunity to go to school from kindergarten all the way to college on this visa without the need of applying for a student visa. So it gives everybody in the family access to the U.S. education system.
That's great. What other benefits does this visa give you?
This visa allows you to qualify for a Social Security number, which is a national identification number issued to people in the United States. And as you know, it's a number that you need for just about everything that you do in the United States. It's needed for every type of application. Even when you buy a cell phone, you need to have your Social Security number, right? So this number is given to you when you have the L1A visa. It's a number that you cannot get with just a tourist visa, so that's a fantastic benefit of the L1A. You can also qualify for a driver's license with this visa. And most importantly, this visa eases your entries into the United States. It facilitates your ability to enter because it's a high-end visa. Not everybody can qualify for it. And when you show up at the port of entry into the United States saying you want to come in, they see your visa, they see that you have a L1A, and they already know why you're coming to the United States. They know you live here, they know you work here, and they just sort of let you on in. Pretty easy.
Those all sound like great benefits. Thank you, Attorney Menchaca.